Welcome back to another video. Today I will be going over the definitive Menlo Lifeguard zone map. I will briefly explain every single stand zone and why it's shaped the way it is. Some important things to note are as follows. Number 1. This video should not be taken as official Menlo policy. This is just my opinion. I don't know what Menlo's official policy is on who is responsible for what, but this map I made is made on my personal experience and what I think makes the most sense. Number 2. This map is only a general representation of who is in charge of what. Just because someone might not be in your zone doesn't mean you shouldn't whistle at them. The reason we have these zones in the first place is because we have multiple stands, and they can cover certain areas more effectively. For example, if I'm at 0 grade, what's going on in the whirlpool isn't really my concern in most circumstances because Leisure 3 exists. 0 grade is just too far away to govern the whirlpool effectively. Number 3. There are certain areas on the map that aren't in any zone. This doesn't mean that the lifeguards aren't responsible for them. It's just that those areas are not super pertinent or they're too far away to govern effectively. Number 4. The zones on this map would change if certain stands were closed. At the end of the video, I'll go over how the map would change depending on what stands are closed. Without further ado, let's get into this. Starting off with Leisure 1. Leisure 1 would be responsible for the second half of the lazy river, the mushroom area, the staircase, about half the activity pool, and right up to the middle of the pool, along with the surrounding walkways. Leisure 1 would generally not be responsible for anything past the middle of the pool, as that's too far away and is more Leisure 2's problem. Leisure 1 also only covers about half the activity pool because the play structure blocks the view of a lot of it. Leisure 1 would also generally not be responsible for anything past the walkway behind it. That area would need the lifeguards completely turn their head to view it, which is not feasible. If something happens there, a manager would most likely deal with it. Next up, Leisure 2 would basically be responsible for half the entire leisure pool, along with parts of the activity pool and the surrounding walkways. Leisure 2 is going to be responsible for the bulk of things that happen in the middle of the pool. Leisure 2 wouldn't be responsible for the entrance to the lazy river because of visibility issues. Anything past the middle chunk of the pool, whirlpool, and the back end of the activity pool would be too far away to govern for Leisure 2. Next up, Leisure 3 would be responsible for the entrance to the lazy river, the whirlpool, the stairs, and the surrounding areas. Leisure 3 generally wouldn't be responsible for the slide area, the 0 grade area, or the activity pool, because those areas are too far away. Next up, Leisure 4 would be responsible for the slide area, parts of the 0 grade area, the stairs, parts of the activity pool, and the surrounding walkways. Leisure 4 generally wouldn't be responsible for the entrance to the 0 grade area, the middle of the pool, and the whirlpool, because those areas can be governed more effectively by other stands. Next up, 0 grade would be responsible for the entire 0 grade area, the half of the activity pool not covered by Leisure 1, and the surrounding walkways. 0 grade generally wouldn't be responsible for the other half of the activity pool because of visibility issues, and the slide area because that's more Leisure 4's problem. Moving over to the competition pool, Comp 1 would be responsible for everything in the 8 lanes of the pool and the surrounding walkways. Comp 1 generally wouldn't be responsible for the dive well because that's too far away. Lastly, Comp 3 would be responsible for the dive well along with lanes 8, 7, and 6 and the surrounding walkways. Comp 3 wouldn't be responsible for anything past lane 6 because that's too far away and is more Comp 1's problem. Now we're going to dive into how the zones would change if certain stands were closed. The first scenario is that Leisure 1 only is closed. If this were to happen, Leisure 2 and 0 grade zones would get slightly bigger to cover more of the activity pool and the surrounding walkways. Scenario 2 is that both Leisure 1 and 0 grade are closed. If this were to happen, Leisure 2 would be the way it is in Scenario 1, Leisure 3 wouldn't be affected, but Leisure 4 would now have a bigger zone covering more of the 0 grade area and activity pool. Finally, Scenario 3 is that Leisure 1, 3, and 0 grade are closed. This is pretty rare, but it can still happen from time to time. If this were to happen, Leisure 2 and Leisure 4 would be greatly expanded to cover more of the lazy river, whirlpool, and the middle of the pool. It's important to note that parts of the activity pool would have no coverage at all because of visibility issues. And that'll just about wrap up the video. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with my map or do you think it could be improved? Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you feel like it. Thanks for watching, and peace out.